chili cook-off. They should certainly spice things up a bit.
We will be back in some form.
We have an army of digital soldiers, because this was an insurgency.
Hundreds dead, thousands infected across multiple continents.
You guys know what this represents?
All people that have gone out there against the mainstream media and said, you're going to call us racist, you're going to call us potential Timothy McVeighs. You what?
All right. Hope you Patriots out there kicking ass, taking names. Welcome to the party, folks. The PatriotPartyNews.com. Hello, YouTube. It's on for now. Unless they cut us off, probably here in just a little bit, which they probably will. I've been under the hood of this thing for a good little bit, so I apologize. As always, I've run a little bit behind. Love it. Awesomeness. I'm pretty excited about all the paid Soros trolls that are trolling us. I love it. That means we're doing something. We're getting the truth out. So I hope everyone is out there kicking ass and taking names. Yeah, cool like that. Also, this is where the cool cats go to get their daily intel news and bread. That's right, the PatriotPartyNews.com. Folks, you need to check out our #1 pro-patriot social media platform out there. It's called PatriotShoot.com. You can click on the banner or go to the ticker below. Just go straight to it, PatriotShoot.com as well. And check out a lot of our other shows that we have on there. You will like it a lot. So I'm going to go ahead and speed things up along and bring in the man of the hour, looking kind of snazzy, Punisher D in the house. Oh, you want me come back? You want to call? Okay. Anyway, he's having to take care of something. It's all good in the hood. So, man, we have been so busy. I know that he's got some intel coming in on his end, and hopefully give me a thumbs up if you're good. All right. He said he gave me 2 thumbs up. I didn't know. Apologize about that, Dallas.
No. You just went through the onboarding quick.
You running and gunning, bro, just like all of us, is pretty awesome during this stretch. And ain't like nothing ain't going on. You know what I'm saying? Ain't is a word up in the South, by the way, if you didn't know that. For you ain't haters. Right? Woo, Lordy. Man, how do we get this party started? Well, let's call everybody in the chat's talking about it. Yes, oh yes, oh yes. What about the illegals being dropped off? Was it Kamala Harris's front yard? And also we talked about what?
Martha's Vineyard. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's
you got DeSantis sending plane loads to Martha Vineyard. You got Texas and El Paso sending bus loads to Kamala Harris's front yard, because, you know, the reality is that if she's not going to go to the border, then we'll just take the border to her, which is exactly what's happening.
Yeah, no doubt. It's very interesting how this is unfolding. Also, I don't know what it's doing in your neck of the woods there in Texas, but looks like Texas is experiencing a little over 10,000 people out of power there, a little over 11,000 people in Cali. Dang, dude, y'all are matching up with Cali. What's up with that?
I don't know. I'm not going to talk about California today. I want to respect our California Patriots.
I understand. Ooh, but you're right. It's always the border towns.
Yeah,
I hear. Now we heard that Mexico had martial law. Is that correct? I think that's what we're hearing. Somewhat.
I mean, it was talked about. I've never been able to see where it was verified or confirmed, but it was
okay.
It was definitely brought up a few weeks ago. But the cartels, I mean, the cartels run the border.
Yeah, no doubt. We were talking about them crossing it with camouflage yesterday. And a lot of that, like I say, with the barbed wire and everything else, it was pretty suspect to me in terms of a lot of things being changed, or what, as Charlie Ward would say, optics, pantomime, so to speak, on that. We're still sitting at a cool DEFCON 3 as there. Well, they're saying railroads and unions reach a tentative agreement to avert rail strike. What's your thoughts on this? Do you think it's done? Do you think?
Well, I mean, it's tentative because they came up with an offer that has to go back before the unions and get voted on, right? So, I mean, we have until midnight tonight. Well, 12:01 tomorrow morning, technically, but we have about 12 more hours before. Oh, I'm sorry, that's not true. We have until midnight tomorrow night. So 36 hours.
Good stuff. Folks at the Reawakening tour in Dallas, some people saying,
but I think things move forward. I think strike happens. I think it probably happens in kind, along with the nurses and some of the frontline people that we're reading and hearing about. So I'm just going to keep my eyes open and watch, but I would assume that it probably happens.
Why do you think they're stopping? And this is on Sunshine Time is asking this question. Why do you think they're stopping Amtrak passenger lines? What's your thought process on that? What do you think?
Well, because those are paid tickets. I mean, the freight is, they get paid for that, but it's like buying a plane ticket. You know what I mean? Like they got to cancel it before you get on the train, because once you're on the train, where are you going to go once you're on the train? So,
right. There you go on that. Well, that'll be interesting to see. Energy markets next. Crisis, oil tanker shortages. Can't make this stuff up. It's part of the pantomime, I guess, or the optics and the stress. As the EU bans on Russia oil and fuel looms, demand for tankers, particularly ice tankers, have been climbing. And you see a little picture down here of the tanker there. That's pretty big. That'd be interesting how that unfolds. Shell CEO to be replaced by renewables boss. Yeah, whatever that means. Renewables. I mean, what are they going to do?
There's on the TV in the lobby of my office, they had people talking about Ford Motor Company is encouraging their dealerships to put more money into selling electric vehicles. But you can't produce enough vehicles for them to sell. It's the most back-assward thing ever. It just doesn't make any sense on this renewable stuff. They're going to pump out all these cars that nobody can charge. And by the way, they don't make it. I mean, they make $1 million a year. All electric vehicles, period. There's 300 million vehicles in the United States. So it's going to take us 300 years to go to all electric vehicles. That's not, I mean, I don't know. You got to be a special kind of stupid to even say that sentence and not.
Man, you know what we need to do? We need just to jump over the ice wall, get over there and get that technology and be like the Jetsons, because that's what we've always been told, right? The off-world over there, the technology that's been hidden from us. What was it Gene DeCoach said? That we're like 1 million years behind in technology that they're keeping from us. I mean, I don't doubt it.
I just want a dragon. Like, can we bring the dragons over? Like, Game of Thrones?
That would be kind of cool, actually. Breathes fire, right? Oh, yeah. Lord. Did you see?
I saw this morning with you and Charlie, and I watched this clip a dozen times last night. I didn't understand what I was watching. I just it just kept popping up. And I don't know if I didn't watch it long enough to see that dude just fall out or what.
Yeah, this is talking about UK grieves as economic crisis looms. Yeah, that was crazy. It's just another example. of that. Oh my goodness. So they're being creative now at was it oh God, nursing homes. Just kind of threw me off, got me laughing a little bit. Actually, here's $1. I see somebody
I mean, I'm not a proponent of those. I don't go to those places very much, but I mean, if I'm 90 in a nursing home, okay.
So nursing home issues an apology after video goes viral of stripper hired to entertain residents. Let's see here. Yeah, of course, this would be interesting to see. Where was this at? This was a nursing home for Army veterans in Taiwan has encountered backlash after allowing a stripper to perform for wheelchair-bound residents.
Well, I'm guessing if all the males that are there are not complaining, except for the fact that Taiwan is like the transvestite capital of the world. So it's probably what they're complaining about is that the dude was a lady or the lady was a dude. But.
Yeah, you really think that was a poll? Hang on a second. Right, exactly. Let's see here. Yeah, LA Sheriff calls for state AG to investigate 2 county officials for being tipped off about the search warrants. They're investigating more or less 2 county officials. It's all rigged. Everybody's connected. Everyone's doing bad stuff. And this was in Cali. We won't harbor too much on that. We'll move on. There we go. Biden's DOJ asked judge to allow to keep over 100 documents from Mar-a-Lago search. Over 100 documents. So this is getting interesting as it goes. A lot of people are getting frustrated with this whole Mar-a-Lago thing, though, Dallas, because it seems like it's just nothing but noise. And we're hearing this, obviously we've been talking about the bombshells from Durham that involving the FBI, DOJ, Hillary Clinton, obviously Dan Jaco and all that stuff, which has been proven, which has been turned in. Yeah. And this is, you see it right there to the right where they're talking about it. But
I just don't understand how it doesn't just blow the whole thing up. If
I
people
agree.
doing the investigating into Trump are being investigated and found culpable at the very least or guilty, like how I don't understand how the whole thing just doesn't go bloop. Because in any other court, if the chain of custody or the procedures are not followed, then it's thrown out. Like it's a mistrial. I mean, and I realize they're not in the court of trial, but it just, I don't understand how the people doing the investigation are being investigated and have already been linked to and proven to be connected to other investigations into the same person. Like it just, I don't know, man. This is a weird movie. It's like Pulp Fiction without the ending, so it doesn't wrap everything together.
Yeah, this is interesting. Alina Habba replaced, Kolomoski lawyer, Kasowitz. And they're talking about, I guess, George Webb here is reporting this. He's an investigative journalist on Twitter. Is talking about how Bedminster, New Jersey is going to be the next raid. Do you foresee that happening? I thought it was already raided. Was it just Mar-a-Lago? Is that what I'm understanding?
Well, I'd heard Mar-a-Lago in his New York, like Trump Towers in New York, but I don't know.
Who knows? But they seems like they're prepared for that to happen, obviously. And here is my favorite video of the day. Just telling everybody straight up, this is awesome. 2 migrant buses from Texas arrive outside of fake VP Kamala Harris's residence. Let's check it out.
This is my favorite view right here. They're just like lined up in front of her fence.
And that is, I guess this is the D.C. residents, correct? If I'm not mistaken on that. I think somebody was saying that's what it was.
Yeah.
Was that an anchor? I guess so.
Yeah, yard art.
Interesting. Ooh. I didn't get to see this, but this looks interesting. So Fox's Jesse Watters clashes with Lindsey Graham over the timing of abortion bill and testy exchange. Let's show it. Let's see here. Let's check this out.
Last night, Joe, Nancy, and Chuck threw a party to celebrate the economy, while the Dow collapsed and Americans got poorer. It was a full-on fiesta. It had a hype man, it had music, and even some gibberish from the president. Listen.
I have seen fire, I've seen rain.
Is New York in the house?
Are there any Californians in the house?
Think about what you'd think about at the time. Think about how you'd feel.
I don't know what that all was, but what were the Republicans
Did you
doing?
see his mask?
On the day
Tell me
inflation
you
roared
did.
back and the market crashed, I thought I'd see Republican senators holding press conferences in front of grocery stores and gas stations, promising to bring prices down if you put them back in charge. But that's not what happened. Instead, Lindsey Graham called a press conference to propose a nationwide abortion ban.
We should have a law at the federal level that would say after 15 weeks, no abortion on demand, except in cases of rape, incest, to save the life of the mother.
Senator Lindsey Graham joins me now. So, Senator Graham, Republicans are very angry at you. You're getting a lot coming for this.
Yeah.
Why'd you do it on that day? Not great timing. Don't you see that?
I'm proudly pro-life, and I have no apology for being pro-life, and there's no bad time to defend the unborn. So if you expect me to sit on the sidelines and watch the Democratic Party try to pass the most radical abortion law in the history of the country, you're talking to the wrong guy. What do I oppose? Schumer and Pelosi have proposed a law for the entire nation that will allow abortion on demand until the point of birth. There are 7 nations on the planet have that extreme view. China and North Korea are
I
2
got
of the
it.
7.
We all agree on that.
Well, now, wait a minute. Now, listen. I'm not going to sit on the sidelines and let America become that kind of nation.
No one's saying you need to sit on the sidelines, but yesterday wasn't the day to do that. Yesterday was the day they lost all momentum when this inflation thing punched them right in the face, and you gave them an out. A lot of people don't like that. You could have done it on any other day, just like you could have delayed the whole press conference, like Joe should have delayed that stupid party.
So I take issue. I don't think there's a bad day to stand up for the unborn. What am I trying to say? That America needs to have a policy that makes us a civilized nation. It would bother me that if a baby's aborted at 38 weeks in California, New York, what am I proposing for our country? That at 15 weeks, when the baby can feel pain, you provide anesthesia to save its life. If you operate on it, it should be protected from being dismembered by an abortionist. That puts us in line with France, Germany, Great Britain. They all have abortion bans below 15
I
weeks.
understand.
So,
and the people are with you on that. No, you're right.
I'm not going to apologize.
You're right. No.
Ever apologize about standing up for the unborn. You know what? We need to go on the offensive here.
It's not what's in your heart. Americans agree with that. They're against abortion after the first trimester. But there, you got to talk tactics, Senator. It's terrible timing, terrible tactics. We could have shoved this down their throat on the day the Americans got hammered with this inflation number and the market crashing. And now all the media and the Democrats are talking about federal abortion ban, federal abortion ban. You know that's not smart politics, right?
They're lying. Here's what I would say. I know, everybody knows inflation's out of control. This is the most extreme agenda for the American people on the border when it comes to crime. And let me just say this. It is now time for the pro-life community to lend their voice to the most extreme measures being pushed by the Democratic Party. We should have done it yesterday. We should have done it the day before. But from this day forward, I promise you to prosecute the case against their border policies, against their economic policies, against their foreign policy. But I will not make any apology to you or anybody else for standing up against the most radical agenda.
I'm not asking for an apology. I'm just saying you're getting a lot of heat. for the timing
I
of
can
that.
stand the heat.
I know,
I
but the
can
wedge
stand
issue
it.
is partial
I can
birth
stand
abortion.
it, my friend.
The wedge issue is partial birth. That's what it is.
You know what
right?
the issue is? That most Americans would be disgusted with a policy that allows the dismemberment of a baby at 15 weeks.
I
The
agree.
people are with me. And if I'm not willing to talk up now, if not now, when? If not me, who? So I agree with you on the economic policies, but my friend, the pro-life community needs to speak up, and we will win this issue because we're right.
All right. I respect your opinion.
Thank you.
I said, timing was off, and timing is everything, Senator. Thank you so much
Tell
for
that to
coming
the
in.
baby. Tell that to the baby.
I hear you. I know. I'm just talking raw politics.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I got to say, I'm probably with Waters on that one. It's and they're going to go tell lies. Oh, let's go do something that people are vast majority are for, right? I mean, we're most, not all, most are about protecting the baby's life, and but I don't know. Nothing in Washington makes sense. Nothing, literally none of it. So I think we just burn the whole thing down, start over. Let's start at scratch. Jasara, let's do this.
Yep. Come on, bring it, baby, bring it. So tragedy at CNN, as legal commentator noted defense attorney drowns while swimming with son. Interesting. So this is Page Pat 55. I'm not familiar with this individual. Are you? He looks familiar, though. I will say I have seen him on TV. But anyway, he was supposedly swept out to sea while swimming off the coast of St. Simon's Island, a small island off of Georgia's coastline. It's kind of a interesting thing there.
Undertows are dangerous. You gotta be careful.
Well, and also, if it's even in fact true, lots of people are disappearing. We know that. Things are coming to a close. There's no question about it. I just wish somebody would slam the damn door right now and say, "Come on, let's do this." But again, it's all in timing here. This was interesting.
I saw this just a little bit ago. This is awesome.
Good for them. Chick-fil-A, I tell you, their security system, and they got a good chicken sandwich. Check this out. So what was it, a carjacker?
Yeah, the guy tried to carjack the lady with her baby.
Oh, wow.
And the Chick-fil-A guy put him in a rear naked choke. Well, it wasn't a rear, it was a guillotine. Choked him out, waited for the police.
Dang. Go Chick-fil-A. By the way, I like their Polynesian sauce, just saying for the record. That's awesome. Good deal. Good for them. On that, search warrant served to Biden's FAA nominee around claims of corrupt contract process. So, Phil Washington, Joe Biden's nominee to head the Federal Aviation Administration, was just served a warrant in a criminal case. Should come as no surprise there. Man, I'm here to tell you, it seems like we living in this twilight zone. I mean, I'm serious. I know it's optics. I know it's a movie. But damn it, man. I mean, it's 5 years ago. I could have never even dreamed of this. Yes, I know there's tons of people, probably including yourself, that have been knee deep in this for years. But 5 years ago, I couldn't even fathom the stuff that we're seeing right now. And what about Illinois? I got people in the chat over here talking about Illinois is going to hell in a handbasket, and they live there.
Yeah.
It's scary, dude. It really is.
Yeah, it's funny. I watched the show this morning with you and Charlie. Great show, by the way. But I disagree with Charlie and the people waking up. And I'll tell you why I disagree with it, because for the last 30 or 40 years, the minority has dictated all choices in our country. You know, take religion out of the schools, take religion out of the courthouses, you know, propagate, you know, LGBT, you know, rights, men and women's bathrooms and women in men's bathrooms, even though that's literally less than 0.5% of the LGBT community, which are the transgenders or transgenders, I guess. But
man, I can't keep up with them all. I'm just gonna be real with you.
But the minority has been dictating our policies forever and ever and ever. And if what Charlie is saying is true, then the majority of us are waiting on the minority to wake up. And I say, F that. Like, it's time to bring this to a close and just, you know, it's, oh man, survival of the fittest, but not in a negative or derogatory way. It's just either, I mean, gosh, you got to be, I mean, literally some kind of stupid. Hey, we're not selling any more gas-powered cars after 2035, even though between now and 2035, we're only going to produce, what is that, 12 million vehicles out of 300 million? Like, you know, and okay, let's say they triple production. Okay, so now we're talking about 12, 24, 36 million out of 300 million. You know what I mean? Like, you have to be a certain kind of stupid to read any of these headlines.
I agree.
You know, the monkeypox czar is a Satan worshiping weirdo who wears chapless, you know, assless chaps and walks around in leather, you know.
So that really wasn't a meme. That's really that dude. That's really.
Oh yeah.
Wow. That's.
He has a pentagram tattoo on his
like
chest.
a Satanist tattoo or something.
Yeah, it's a pentagram. But like every single person that Joe Biden has nominated for these positions, you got a Chinese communist that he tries to put in charge of our financial system. You got the monkeypox czar, which monkeypox has only spread through the gay community so far that I've heard. And, you know, I mean, you got the director of the FAA being investigated or indicted for fraud. And, you know, like you got to be a certain kind of stupid to read. And I'm not picking on the left. I mean, holy hell, man, it doesn't make any sense. So, I mean, no, we're not saying it won't be. The 2035 thing is California put in law that they are no longer selling gas-powered vehicles after 2035. I'm just trying to make an example of how stupid that is, right? And we're going to stop selling gas-powered cars by 2035, but we don't produce enough electric vehicles in the world to replace the vehicles in the United States. That's the stupidity I'm talking about. We're going to sell all of our strategic reserves in oil at when it was produced at like $40 a barrel, and then we're going to go buy it from these OPEC companies and beg to get oil later on in the year from these companies, and we're going to pay $120 a barrel. Like it's just
it's like what Trump told them too. Didn't Trump say to Germany, talking about similar to that, saying, "Hey, you're going to be dependent on your energy resources," and look what happens. They all laughed at him.
Yeah, he gave Merkel a white flag so she could surrender when they became dependent on Russia for oil. And guess what? They're freaking dependent on Russia for oil, which is why Germany is about to break away from the EU and join BRICS, because they need oil, and they don't have any. They don't produce oil. That's the UK doesn't produce natural gas and oil. So they have to import all of it, but we're selling all of ours to China, and then we're going to go buy it at 4 times the price. Like,
and then they're buying up land around military bases on top of that here.
Which the Biden administration won't even acknowledge. Like, change the subject. Like,
because they're involved in it. It's all part of it, man. It thank God, military and Trump stepped in 2016. There ain't no telling where we would be right now. I think about FEMA camps.
We would be in concentration camps, just like they are in China right now.
Yeah.
But, man, Trump, white hats, tall beings, whoever, like, movie needs to end, because people that aren't awake or aren't even can't even acknowledge this stuff, they're not going to wake up. I'm not waiting on anybody. And,
come on, aliens.
Let's do it. Yeah.
Another Canadian athlete and doctor dies suddenly during a cyclist event in Quebec due to cardiac arrest.
I.e. the jab, but nobody will say that.
Yeah. It's called a bioweapon. Yeah, absolutely. It ain't no vaccine. Of course, they went our YouTube channel, which is fine with me.
Sorry.
Don't be. It's the truth. And that's what more people need to understand. You don't need to get no one needs to get hung up on saying the right things. We just need to keep on saying the freaking truth over. And that's what we do. That's what I love about what we do every day. Here goes another one.
Like just read this headline out loud and tell me that it's not the stupidest sentence on the planet.
Yeah, consultant backing Democrat nominee for Arizona's top law enforcement officer really hates law enforcement. This is Gateway Pundit, and maybe they got a video or just a post here. Yeah.
But like, who reads that, Chaz, and goes, "What?" I just.
Well, I bet you a bunch of mofos are going to be reading this right here. Facebook was spied on personal messages of Americans who questioned the 2020 election, turned them over to the FBI. I'm one of them, by the way. Just figured you're probably one of them. Right. Oh, and here's another thing, too. Speaking of that, I don't know where it was at. You might have saw it, too. Lindell was on Newsmax. Michael Lindell was on Newsmax, and he was talking about what happened with the FBI and all that stuff at the Hardee's. By the way, Hardee's comes up with a post. Yes, our biscuits are real. They actually posted it. It was hilarious. You can't make it up.
Oh, they replied to something that was on one of our posts?
No. Hardee's just made a post by itself saying, yes, our biscuits are very pillowy. Or something like that. It was freaking hilarious.
That's funny.
But he was going into great detail about what questions they were asking him. Here's the biggest question. When's the last time we talked to Tina Peters? They're asking it sounded like a majority of their questions evolved around Tina Peters. And we all know, obviously, they won't let Tina Peters leave the state of Colorado, first off. Because as soon as she's out, obviously she'll be able to get access or whatever. And they know she's got the evidence, and they are trying everything in their power to suppress. So there's obviously something happening on the backside that has come to light that they are trying to go after. They're looking for any way they can to find the source of this.
Well, they're just trying to suppress it. I mean, it sounds to me that it's already been out. I mean, it's already been outed. It's just suppressing, or, the key to defense is to discredit the witness, right? So if they can find something to discredit Tina Peters on, well, then her whole argument kind of it can be dismissed. But that's the key, is that it's just numbers. I mean, it's paper and tallies, and they don't add up. And we now have the proof.
We're supposed to be having her on here in the near future as soon as we get a day.
Literally, I mean, you said that, and the first thing I thought was, shoot, she coming on tonight?
We got the Patriot Roundtable tonight. It's going to be pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
If you join us, cool. If not, I understand. I know that family comes first and all that stuff, but we're going to have a mad show tonight. You never know who's going to pop up in this Patriot Roundtable tonight.
Heck yeah.
You might, everyone might be in for a shocker on that. Let's see here. The biggest thing that's on my mind, just like yours, is, and just like everyone that's watching, and I've seen this in the chats a million times, when will this movie be over? Frustration, I see it. We're just like you guys that are watching us. Okay, all we can do is do our due diligence, our research, and I'm here to tell you the good news is, it is happening. I know everyone wants to see the tribunals on TV. Trust me, Your boy does too. I could probably speak for Dallas saying, hell yeah, hang on, you know, but we got to have a little bit of coof with everything that's going on, because you start making super mad shifts, you know, it can seriously, a lot of human casualties can take place. I mean, don't get me wrong, it looks pretty crazy right now, but hang on, hold my beer, it can always get crazier. And as soon as we get done with this show, I can almost virtually guarantee you something's going to happen today that either people are going to be like, oh my God, I can't believe it. Or they're going to be, you know, kind of wondering, okay, this is part of the movie. Could the movie be ending?
Yeah.
You know, so it is.
Well, you are correct. Things are moving, things are progressing, and we're inching towards the finish line. I just, you know, and Chaz, you and I have talked privately about this, but my personality is I'll run through the finish line. That's not a question. And I'll give everything I have. It helps me to know where the finish line is. The kicker is that most people, when given the finish line, will slack until the very end and then look like they're kind of sprinting at the end, right? I mean, that's all through my years of playing football and, high school, college. If we were running 10 sprints, I just needed the coach to slide over and say, all right, Dallas, we're running 10. Because I was going to run as hard as I could. Now, one of two things was going to happen. Well, one thing was guaranteed to never happen. I was never going to come in first, ever. So I've never been the fastest guy. But two things were going to happen. I was either going to run as hard as I could for all 10 or all 20, or we did 100 stairs one time in college. It sucked. But I was going to give everything I had every single time, or I was going to die trying. Those are the only two outcomes, right? And the way my brain is wired. And that's where this is so frustrating mentally for me is if I knew where the finish line was, man, I could endure anything and I could help everybody else endure it too. But it just sucks. But I do know, well, I'm confident that things are progressing forward, and every day we get, it's a little bit cliche, but we get one day closer to the end. I'm looking for some confirmation of some things this afternoon or maybe early tomorrow, but just try to stay upbeat and make the most of every day. And if nothing else, if this has taught me anything, is to be present in today, because I have a tendency to kind of get lost in the journey sometimes. Just every day, I felt like crap for the last couple of weeks. Every day that I get to hang out with my kids and, and hang out with you guys is a blessing. And we have to look at life that way, because there's really no other way to do it.
No question about it. Charlie was talking about today. If you haven't seen the show, it was on this morning at 7 a.m. Central. I told everyone last night to set their alarms for it. It was a great show. The phone call from Reno that he was talking about, and he started talking about CBI. I haven't had time because I've been, running and gunning over here with
Central Bank of Iraq.
Yeah. So he's obviously, he didn't talk to me much off camera. I mean, I told you the same thing, even, not even on the live, that there's a lot of hush hush stuff going on. More people have signed NDAs. More people, supposedly there has been money movement there. Now, again, this is what obviously you can go look at the show and you can see for yourself from Charlie on that. And he made, the announcement that he is going to be in him and Scott McKay are going to be in Nashville with us in October. And we'll finalize all that. I think we've got a good little bit of it already finalized, so it'll be kind of cool. And who knows? If a phone call comes in time. I know that somebody was this morning. It was funny, and probably the same person is watching. So I'm talking about you. I saw every other chat. It was, You need to get, when you're in Pennsylvania, you need to get with Mr. C. You need to get with Mr. C. And that's all I saw every other, text, which, hey, go for it. I think it rocked. I don't know. I haven't kept up with Mr. C here lately. I don't think the codes obviously have not been entered.
No, not as of this morning. I mean, he's slated to be on with Mark tomorrow.
Okay. We'll hopefully get some, hear what's going on there with Mark Z and Mr. C and all that stuff. Final words, my friend.
Just God bless. Oh, no, that's your line. Oh man,
That's our line. You go ahead.
I almost stole your closing, man. But no, just stay positive. As positive as you can. Like I said, live in the moment, live in today. Make the most of today, and find something to be happy about, or do something to help make somebody else's day better today, and it'll make your day better.
Amen. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you for everything you do here for PPN and us Patriots.
Thanks,
Have a
man.
wonderful day. Take care. Another one in the box, folks. And, if you didn't already know, we have created our own supply chain. If you're looking for an alternative and getting things that you would normally go down to maybe your local Cabal store or Deep State store, look no further to PPN Switch. It's pretty freaking cool. Check it out. I think you will absolutely love it. And tune in tonight. It's going to be huge. It's going to be real big. The Patriot Roundtable, where we bring in a lot of Patriots that you guys know very, very well. We get all together and we hash it out. We go do some deep dives. Tonight's going to be a very big night with the amount of intel that's going to be brought into play. We're liable to get some type of guidance and maybe the events that are forthcoming. I would highly recommend everybody and your mama needs to be tuning in. It's going to be very, very important. And again, I just want to say a big thank you to the PPN team, moderators, admins. Without you guys, and of course, obviously, our viewership, we appreciate you guys. We love you guys. Thank you so much for what you do for the movement. A lot of you guys don't get enough credit and what you deserve to get, but we sure love you, and we thank you every day. God bless the Republic of the United States of America. And God bless you, Patriots. Without you folks, there is no America. See you tonight.
What is your name, and why did you want to come visit Anti-Aging Bed?
Leon Campbell. I come here because the medical profession was in a position with my heart where there was nothing else to be done. My lungs were filling up because my problem is I have a leaking valve in my heart. And they had told me medically that my age was a hindrance for them to do open heart surgery. And I wouldn't make it off the operating table. And also, if they went through the veins, I have bad kidneys, which was caused for the medical profession leaving me on a product called Metformin too long. It's at 2.9. And if they were to go in through my veins to fix the problem, the dye would put me into dialysis for my kidneys. And then to get a second opinion, I went to another doctor other than the VA, and he wouldn't. He's a noted heart surgeon, and he would not recommend that I have either one, especially the heart surgery, which he would do or his team would do. So I was just left with no hope on heart medicine and on diuretics because of my heart leaking went into my lungs, and my lungs would fill up and I couldn't breathe. I couldn't even carry on a conversation whenever I come here really without stopping and breathing. And now I'm off of water pills or I have my ankles, as you can see, are not swollen. And I saw myself from that leaves my heart. If it's still leaking, until I'm going to get a test this month again to make sure. But I could breathe normal, I sleep normal, I have no swelling, and I'm all the way off of the water pills now. And that's so I know that without any doubt that this procedure you have here has I had no reason to go on. That was the end. It told me that nothing could be done, but something could be done. It's been done here, and with good people, and I enjoy coming here. The people have been very nice.